Hi, this is Vicki from Grammy Bee's Junk Journal. I've had a couple of people ask me how I put pages into books, and I know there's a ton of videos out on YouTube, but I did want to answer this question. So I'm going to try to make this short and easy, and I know there are tons and tons of different ways to do this, but I'm just going to show a couple of quick and easy ways. First of all, the ways that I'm going to show you, we're going to use glue. And these are kind of the glues that are in my stash. The PVA, the art glitter, and then we have Tombow, and then the tacky glue. My really go-to is the art glitter glue, although I'm sure the others are just fine. I just find that I'm kind of stuck with the art glitter glue. I get bottles from the Dollar Tree, and this is actually a little larger than I prefer. I have some that are the smaller sizes. Unfortunately, I'm out in my studio and my little bottles are in the house. So we're going to use this one today, and it is going to be with the art glitter glue. So the question was, how do you, because I was showing this journal yesterday or whenever it was, and somebody said, well, how do you put all of the different pages into a book? I don't understand that. This book is full, as you notice, just full of all different kinds of papers. And so like this is a page from a vintage book, right? So I go thrifting and I find a lot of vintage books because that's my favorite. Plus I'm a teacher and I have lots, I have lots of books. So what I do is I take them all apart and then I get a pile of pages, right? So that way I have papers to choose from. Now, how do you do that? How do you take a book apart? Well, sometimes it's easy and sometimes it isn't easy. So this is an old book. What is this? Early 1900s for sure. Not even gonna take the time to look right now. 1912. Yeah, this is old. Okay, so 1912 book. If you have some books like this, if you look, they are sewn together. A lot of times they're sewn. Other times they're glued. If they're glued, you're going to have to just tear the pages out. Now, if they are sewn together, you can unstitch them, okay? My favorite way is using a seam ripper, although to be honest, I just broke my favorite seam ripper just a day or two ago doing this exact same thing because anyways, there's different ways to do this. You can carefully use a seam ripper. You can use scissors to get in there and snip it. So let's see. I will see that. Okay, so I've used that. This is my favorite way. You can, if you have a little pair of scissors, sometimes you can get right in there and snip it apart. I sometimes snip the papers, so that's why this isn't my first choice. And then you can also use like something like this. Again, you have to be careful not to cut yourself and not to cut your book pages. And definitely this is not for children, this is for adults. Okay, so I have all 3 of the stitches pulled out. Now all you're going to do now, and I'm out of frame, sorry, you're just going to gently, see that? It comes apart. Now you have this is all set to just slide into your signatures when you're putting your journals together, right? Now it's usually like 3 or 4 pages like this, and then you have to go hunt in the book for the next set of those stitches. So right here I have 3 sets, and since this is a 1912 book, the paper is really nice and it's nice and strong, so these are nice to use in journals. So this is all set. I mean, This is great. This is ready to go. So I'm going to put this away. So you're going to get your book. You're going to take some pages apart. If it's not sewn in like this was, if it's glued into the book, then gently tear the pages out, okay? Now, if that is the case, and I have some papers here that's kind of ready to go into a signature. So if that's the case, I'm going to show you what we can do. So what I've done is I've got some scrapbook paper here. I've taken this out from an old book. I've taken this one out from an old book. Remember, this is junk journal, right? So you're using just anything. Anything goes in junk journals. Went to the Dollar Tree, and I have this napkin. I'm going to use this as a page. So, okay. This is some old wrapping paper. So if you cut that wrapping paper down, Christmas is so much fun too. Cut your wrapping paper down to size, and that just gives it a fun element. Then I have some smaller children's books. So this one came apart pretty good. Now there's a lot of holes here, but this is a strong pages. So I think this would be fine just like it is. However, if you want to make this sturdier, you can put washi tape down here, and that would cover up those holes. You can put fabric. Just glue some fabric in there to cover up those holes. Like I said, this is pretty strong, and I would only be putting holes down the middle when I sew in my signature. So I think this would be fine, although covering it up might not be a bad idea, okay? And then here's another page. And then these two pages, they did not come out of the book nicely. They kind of fell apart. So we're going to glue this in. Okay, we're going to glue these in. So what I do at this point, I'm going to put all of these pages into each other, so it's going to make a signature, okay? So I might want this on the outside, the front of the signature. So I'm just going to start building it. So there's no right or wrong. It's kind of however you want to put it in. And then I tend to over embellish. I love to embellish. So after I get the signatures together, that's when I put my buttons and ribbons and lace, and that's when I like to add my pockets and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of put it all together here, okay? Now, of course, if I was actually doing this for a book, I would also, I would probably have some cards and envelopes and, just some different things that I would add. But for the purpose of this how-to video, this is what we're doing here. Okay, now I'm going to add, actually, I want the napkin next to this white, okay? So napkin. So then what is a napkin for? Well, you could add a pocket here. You could just do a little journaling here. You could add a photo here. It's just kind of a fun thing to put in. It gives it a little bit different texture, right? Okay. So then my last one, so this would be the middle, and of course I would make some pockets, belly bands, whatever. Or you could definitely leave this blank and add photos and journaling, and I mean there's a zillion things you can do. Okay, so now all of those fit together nicely, right? Just a note, see how this first one is short? I am like a lace person. Actually, I had a comment that wasn't very nice, and they didn't like lace, and I'm like an over lacer. I absolutely love lace. I have a huge supply of vintage lace that was gifted to me, so I use lace for everything. So that's just me. So if a page is short like this, my first thing, I would add some lace or ribbon to make it longer. You can definitely add paper to make it longer, or just leave it the way it is. Okay, so now these two papers, I want these pages in this book as well. So what do I do? So what I did is I just turned this over, I just eyeballed it like 1/4 of an inch. Now there's lots of different ways. I'm just showing you one quick and easy way. So where am I going to put this? Let's see. I'm going to take these out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the back of this to this right here. Okay. And then when I put the rest of those pages back, this is going to be like a back page, okay? So I'm gonna get my glue bottle here, and now you could sew this in, you could, there's just lots of different, this is just a quick and easy way. And this art glitter glue is so strong, it's just really strong. So now all I'm gonna do is go like this, okay? And I'm gonna turn the page. All right, now this is in, okay? So I'm gonna put this in here. Now what I would do is, you do not have to cover this, but if I was gonna decorate this, I would, you know, I might put some scrapbook paper and cover this whole thing. I might add a strip of lace or ribbon down here to cover that up. But really, honestly, when you get this filled up, that little line isn't going to show. But what that did was that added a page, that little page to the back here. Okay. Now, I have this little frog page from the same book. I also want to add this in. So I'm going to just turn this down. I know there's so many different ways, and a lot of you are probably going, oh my gosh, really? She's really doing that? But this is just an easy way. This is just an easy way for me. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to, where do I want this? Oh, maybe I want it right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to put some glue on the inside here. Okay, and then I'm going to put it kind of, I want this one in the middle like this. Okay. Now, when you turn the page to here, this is going to be a little page once it dries. Okay, actually, it's there. So this is going to be a flap, a flip out, whatever you want to call it. It's another page in the book, and it's really just from a book that I tore a page out and I kind of ruined it. And so, but I wanted that image. I still wanted to use this image. Now, if I flip this over, yes, I have this showing, but that is absolutely okay, because maybe I want to put, you know, maybe I want to put, oh, that's not a good piece to show you, but for the sake of this, so maybe I had a strip this big and I wanted to put a side pocket, okay? So I could cover this up with a piece of paper and just make a side pocket. I could, let's see, I could get some washi tape and I could run that washi tape down it to hide it. There's lots of ways to hide that, pockets and belly bands and things like that. But that's just a quick and easy way that you can add pages. So if you asked me that question, I hope that this helps you, and really play around, and it's easy, it's fun, and there's all different kinds of ways to add in those pages. So I hope this helped. Have a wonderful day, and if this inspired you at all, if this helped you at all, could you please like and subscribe? That will really help me to grow my channel. And also visit my website, GrammyBshop.com. I have tons of junk journals for sale, as well as journaling supplies. So have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, friends.